everybody, welcome to Downward Dog Rising. It's Traci, and I'm going to give you a wind down session for end of day so you can stretch tight muscles that feel constricted and compressed, and then hopefully it'll help relax you so you can have a nice evening. Alright, so if that sounds good to you, then join me, and we're going to start off just sitting with our ankles crossed, Sukhasana. And what I want you to do here, we're just going to elevate our shoulders towards our ears and then release. Just lift, shoulders shrug up, release any tension through fingertips. They shrug up, release, and 3, shoulders shrug, release, 2 more. Inhale, exhale, 1 more time, breathing in, exhale. All right, we're going to stretch the area mid-back between your 2 shoulder blades. Eagle arms, Garudasana. You're going to wind arms together, palms come in, gently lift up towards shoulder height. 3 deep inhales here. Feel a nice stretch right in between the 2 blades in your back. Breathing in, exhale. Softly release and breathing in. Dissolve the tension, upper neck, shoulders, mid-back. 2 more times, breathing in. And last one, breathing in. And gently release. Next, take your arm to your side and stretch up and over. And just press that sits bone away, breathing in and breathing out. Elongate that whole side, shoulders out of ears, breathing in and breathing out. 1 more time, breathing in and breathing out. Gently come up, switch ankles that are crossed, come to the other side in your Sukhasana. Next, and doing your eagle arms, we're going to do opposite. So I always do right because I'm right-handed. You may be the same, whatever your dominant side is. Try going to the other side right now. We usually always start without, when we don't think about, if we aren't cued to go to your right or go to your left. So switch to the side that's you use least, and then we're just going to lift those arms towards our shoulders and breathe. Breathing in, feel softening across your upper mid-back. Breathing out. Breathing in and release. Softly let that tension go. 1 more time, breathing in and breathing out. Gently release your arms. We're going to take our other arm down by our side. We're going to stretch up. Keep shoulders right above hips, and then you stretch sideways, keeping that hip on the mat. 3 deep inhales here. Open up that side, create some length in your spine, breathing out. And again, inhale and exhale. And 1 more time, breathing in and exhale. Gently, you're going to come back up. Next, we're going to take the soles of our feet together, rotate bottoms of feet towards sky, maybe butterfly knees for a moment. Release those hips a little bit. So we're going to do a little butterfly stretch, or Baddha Konasana. So we're going to just gently think of our knees floating in liquid, and then they just fall outwards. Sit up tall, lengthening all the way from tailbone to top of head. Stay here and breathe for a moment. Feel the length in your spine. One more deep inhale. Then we're going to go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Rising up, make sure you don't bend from the middle of your back. Maybe just hip hinge. If you have a yoga block, you can always grab your yoga block. You can rest your forehead if you can get down there. Not me right now. If you can, go for it. So we're just going to rest either our hands or forearms on our block. Stay here and breathe. Just soften into the stretch. Yield, give way. You feel that give? Go a little deeper. We're hip hinging, not rounding from our spine. Let's take one more deep inhale here. And slowly we're going to make our way up. Excellent. Close the knees together. Take your hands by sides of body. You're going to gently do a little windshield wiper from side to side so you can get your hips and your back to release a little more. All right. So once you release hips and back, let's go into a little caterpillar. So we're going to stretch our legs out in front. Maybe shake out your knees for a moment. We really want to get this part of our body. We want our front ribs to meet our back ribs. We don't want to slouch. We want to rise up. If necessary, take a yoga blanket or take a block and put it directly under your pelvis with both sits bones equally on it, and that will create a little bit more length space for the hip flexor here as well as your low back. So if your hip flexors or your low back react and get angry from sitting like this, or if you feel like you're getting pulled backwards and you can't quite sit up straight, definitely put a block under you or a blanket. It'll definitely help, and you'll feel much more comfortable to release your hamstrings and release your spine. We're going to lift the arms up into the air and just allow your rib cage to settle in. And then we're going to slowly hinge forward over the legs. And as we hinge forward over the legs, you can either grab your shins, your ankles, maybe the lateral pinky toe sides of your feet, and you're just going to pull those legs apart. Feel those inner thighs wrap outward to outer hips, thighs. Stretch breastbone tall, breathing in and exhale, just gently floating over those legs. You're actively being passive. You're working. So it's not like we're not doing anything, we're staying still, but we are working. We're pushing ourselves to the point where we can't go any further without force. Come to your edge, hold. A little deeper. When you feel that release, come into it a little more. Relax shoulders out of ears. Keep lengthening that spine, breastbone long. Feel space between shoulder blades open up. Let's take one more deep inhale here. And slowly we're going to make our way up. Shake out your knees. Reverse plank, extend legs, press heels firmly into mat. unweight shoulders by pressing from armpits to palms. Lift pelvis up, scoop abdominals in, shoulders out of ears, press hips to sky. 3 deep inhales here for a little counter. Breathing in, lift hips, breathing out. Openness across collarbones, breathing in, lift hips, engage glutes, breathing out. And one more deep inhale. And softly release. All right, next we're going to do a little seated twist. Take your right knee, place foot on mat. Next, what I want you to do here is take your hand, grab a hold of your leg, gently lift up, and we're going to lift our breastbone up towards the sky as we press this hand into the mat. We're going to just unwind our spine a little by rotating through thoracic spine, giving some space in the mid-back. Open chest, open heart. Small little back bend up. Tiny bit of extension with our rotation. You can flex your foot if you like. One more deep inhale. And softly release legs, shake out your knees. We're going to bend opposite leg, bend that left leg, foot flat on mat. Next, you're going to reach for your leg and pull it in a little bit closer. We're going to rise up, lift that arm. And now I want you, after you lengthen your spine, you're going to lift your breastbone slightly, get a tiny bit of extension into the middle part of your back. Flex your foot and open. And breathe. Little twist with a little extension. Give your back some more space. Decompress. Two more deep inhales. And one more inhale here. And gently exhale, release. All right. Next thing that I'm going to have you do, if you have a belt for your pants, your jeans, you could use it. If you have a yoga strap, you can use it. We're going to grab our yoga strap or our belt from our pants, and we're just going to wrap it over our foot. And we're going to do a little 3-way stretch or a Padagustasana, A, B, C. You're just going to bring it. You can use this buckle if you like. Oh, it's actually fastened. Haha. What do you know? I have it fastened. We're going to lower down to our mat. We're going to extend right leg up into air. Your hip bones are straight to sky, so our pelvis is equally balanced. You can have your kneecap straight up. And then I just want you to pull the legs straight towards you for a little hamstring stretch. And we're going to stay here and breathe. I don't want you to have your arms up here because I don't want your shoulders to hike up into your ears. So maybe if you just let your shoulder blades sink into the mat, and then you just kind of let the back of the arm fall deeper into the mat and lift a leg towards you. Hold here. Opposite heels pressing the mat away. I'm going to release tight hamstrings from sitting during the day. Let's do one more deep inhale. Keep your hip bones facing directly to the ceiling. Now maybe you'll switch to opposite arm, drop that tricep, back of arm into mat. Maybe relax this arm by your side now and let your leg fall over to the side. You want your hips to stay down on mat. You don't want to rotate pelvis for this. We're just going to let our leg reach to the side. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Getting into those adductor muscles, inner thigh. Still keeping hips balanced to the sky. So for this, I'm not going to twist your spine. I'm just keeping your pelvis squared. Deep inhale and deep exhale. If you can go higher, go for it. Keeping your hips aligned. One more deep inhale here. Softly release. All right, now we're going to grab our strap with opposite hand. And then without allowing this whole hip and glute to turn and go the other side like we do when we do a spinal twist, just want you to reach all the way over to the other side. Make some space in the front of the rib cage, between the rib and the hip. Gonna get a nice stretch all the way down that outer hip thigh, that iliotibial band. If you want to tweak it, get a deeper stretch. You can kind of rotate toes, twist down a little bit. You can adjust. You'll feel a deeper stretch up here, even in the lower leg. The tibia's down lower. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep shoulders open. Slight variation, pull towards opposite shoulder if you like. Go a little deeper into your glute. Let's take one more deep inhale. And gently come back center. Walk your other foot up into the air. And you're going to switch places in your belt or your yoga strap. And then you're just going to extend this other leg straight down to the mat. Your hip points, your hip bones face upwards. Back is long into mat. Open shoulders, chest. And slowly you're going to lift leg a little closer towards you. So our pelvis is facing directly above us, so we don't rotate, and stay here and breathe. You can press this heel against the mat, kneecap faces to sky. Open chest, collarbones wide. Blades float down your back. Gently let those hamstrings release, that back release, let this hip release. One more deep inhale. And exhale, release. All right, take the band, your strap, opposite arm. Gently let your leg fall out to the side, away from your midline. Feel that inner thigh stretch. I'm going to grab it with both hands, letting backs of arms stay firm into the mat. Collarbones wide, chest open. Softly release. Want to go a little deeper, try to lift leg a little higher. breathe a little out more to the side. Help with your middle splits. One more deep inhale here. Softly you're going to release. Keep hip bones squared to sky. Back of left sits bone stays on mat. Feel space between front of rib cage, hip bone, and slowly just reach leg across. Stay grounded. Feel that side of the hip all the way down the side of the thigh, all the way down the side of the lower leg. If you want to get a little deeper stretch, and rotate toes towards the floor a little bit. Feel a little deeper stretch inside of hip, along the lower part of the leg, side of the tibia, the ankle. Breathing in and breathing out. Iliotibial band stretch. Slowly you're going to release, come back in. And we're just going to take that strap off of our foot. Actually, leave the strap on your foot. I'm going to take you directly into your quadricep and your hip right now. So I'm going to have you roll onto your side. So if the left leg is in the strap, roll to your right hip. If right leg is in the strap, roll to the left side. Now, we're going to be on our side, and we're going to square our hips straight directly in front of us, and then you're going to slowly start to bend the leg out behind you. Now, we want our hip bones, the two hip bones are straight across. Pull those ribs so the ribs are aligned, shoulders over hips. We're going to elongate the tailbone to protect our low back, and then we press our two hip points directly straight ahead. So we want those ribs aligned. And then if it's okay, reach behind your head, grab. So you're keeping the length here. My ribs want to twist. I'm trying to straighten out my rib cage. Hip bones face forward, press hips forward, tailbone low. And let's get a nice stretch into the front of your hip, your psoas, and your quads. You have 4 different quadricep muscles. Just breathe. Keep the neck long if possible. Breathing in. Just let that hip release, quad release. You may have to adjust your alignment if you get any pain in your knee. You don't want to have knee pain, joint pain. If you do, just peel your leg out of the strap and relax for a moment with your knee bent in front, and just relax, release. This will help you with your dancer's pose standing, as well as your mermaid, your Ekapada Rajkapotasana. Breathing in, breathing out. You'll start to feel a little bit more of a pull through here. One more deep inhale here. And gently release. So now we're going to take our foot out of the strap. If it's your left foot, remember you did left. If it's your right, remember you did right. Before we switch sides, roll onto your back. And then extend the right leg long, the leg that was in the strap, the one that you just stretched your quad. We're going to take it into Ardha Ananda Balasana, happy baby, half happy baby. So you're going to reach to the lateral pinky toe side of your foot, grab with your hand, or take your 2 peace fingers, grab big toe, whatever feels right for you, do so. And then you're going to align the knee with the ankle, so the shin is parallel, knee and ankle. And then what you do, you slowly start to draw this knee a little bit out to the side as if you're pulling your knee towards the floor. You're also going to feel this side stretch too. So hip opener, stay here and breathe. Lengthening head away from tailbone, spine is long. Relax shoulders away from ears. Release any tension in your body. Just let it melt away. Let's do one more deep inhale. And gently release your leg. And now we're going to rotate face the other way. You're going to take a hold of your strap, your belt, wrap it over your right foot. And just to make things easy, I'm going to ask you to just roll over to your side like this. Grab your band. And then I'm going to face you again. So I'm just going to turn and face the opposite way so I could face you. But I just wanted you to make sure you did the right side and you didn't do the same side twice. So I'm coming back down to the mat. I'm going to come completely over onto my side. And then what I want you to do here, so you want your hips to be aligned straight to the front. You're going to take that strap. It's wrapped over your foot. Your bottom arm can cradle your head for some support. And then you're just going to take your arms, pull those ribs so your ribs are straight. Your hips are aligned. Your shoulders face forward. Your hips are forward. Reach over your head. See if you could grab and get a good deep stretch. Your tailbone elongates. It's important to protect your low back. You press your hip bones forward and then lengthen your tailbone. And stay here and breathe. Your tailbone's long, your hip points, hip bones press forward. And stay here and breathe. After a little bit, you may even start to feel like a pulling through here, opening. If your leg doesn't like going up this high, just go a little bit like that. You don't have to go so high. It's okay. And again, if there's pressure on your kneecap or under the knee, then I would come out of it. You don't want you do not want to feel joint pain here, all right? It's the muscular release, not pain in your joints. There's a difference. Important to distinguish between the two so you don't do damage to your joints. Breathing in. Let's do a couple more deep inhales here. Softening, releasing. Important to do this from sitting all day. We want to lengthen those hip flexors, those quads, they get tight. Only one quad also flexes at the hip, the quadriceps femoris. The psoas is our true hip flexor. All right, we're going to come out of this one. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Gently bring your leg forward. We're going to release our foot from the strap. My hair's caught. I'm getting caught in everything. So we're going to release foot from strap. All right. Roll onto your back. The leg that was just in stretching in the strap, we're actually going to do ardha. Ananda Balasana, happy baby or half happy baby. Take this leg out long, knee to sky. You're either going to take your palm, wrap it around the lateral pinky toe side of your foot, lateral pinky toe, or take these two fingers, peace fingers, index finger, middle finger, and let your knee, your ankle, your shin be aligned. I like to grab my pinky toe. It feels good to me. I don't know why. Grabbing the lateral edge of my foot. Collarbones open, chest is open to sky. Just allow that knee to fall outward towards your mat. So great hip opener. Good to do after releasing our quad and our hip flexor. One more deep inhale here. And gently release. We're going to hug our knees in for a moment. Inhale, exhale, peel up. Reach to those knees. Release your middle back. One more time. Reach to those knees. Release your middle back. All right, let's do full happy baby now. Grab a hold, lateral edges. Let those knees drop outward. Feel the back of the pelvis widen across the mat. Draw your hip bones closer together. Feel the pelvis widen into the mat. Tailbone's heavy. Spine is long. Let that back release. Take one more deep inhale here. And gently release legs. Maybe stretch legs into air. Point and flex those ankles. Good. And then from here, what I want you to do, you're going to bring both feet down to your mat, hip width apart. Feel width across collarbones. Avoid putting any pressure into your neck. You're going to reach the arms down, long by your sides. I want you to feel the abdominal wall just really draw into your back. Push into all four corners of your feet. There's a little space between your glutes and your heels. They're not totally in touching. And as you press through mid-back, no weight in neck, stretch tailbone long, lift pelvis directly up into the air, and you want to feel like you're streamlining, you're elongating as your hip bones. We're going to get a deeper stretch through the front of those hips and thighs. Glutes are engaged. Press hips to sky in your bridge. Be careful. Avoid letting your knees splay or fall outward. Keep the mid of the knee. The knees are still aligned with your hip sockets. Shoulders, hips, middle and knee over second toes. They're all aligned. Keep your alignment. Feel those gluteals engaged. Low back is lengthening. Tailbone long, away from breastbone. Maybe you'll draw those shoulders down a little deeper and clasp your hands together underneath your body, if that's comfortable, on your shoulders. Go a little deeper. Want to strengthen our back, especially if you're sitting, compressing your spine all day. Keep lengthening tailbone away from breastbone, open chest, no weight in neck. Press into all four corners of feet. Gently release hands. And now slowly peel down from the center of your back sequentially. All the way to your tailbone. All right. Now we're going to do Supta Baddha Konasana, our little reclined butterfly. Bring the soles of your feet together and just allow both knees to fall out to the sides. We're just going to relax, palms to sky, openness across shoulders and chest. Again, it's going to feel good to let those hips release. Our hips can get really tight if we sit. Hips can get really tight if you run. Breathing in, breathing out. Let gravity help you. You'll feel gravity pressing down on the hips. Those thighs spiral outward, creating space, decompressing your hip joint, your hip socket decompresses. Relax into the stretch. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Your eye gaze is soft. Your jaw is soft. Your mouth is soft. Relax your facial muscles. One more deep inhale here. And gently we're going to draw those knees together. Little windshield wiper. Little knee sway. Now take your legs straight against the mat all the way down. And then we're going to stretch our arms overhead. And just stretch body in opposition, fingers away from your toes. Deep inhale here. Allow that spine to really release. You may feel your ribs pop upwards. You may feel your back arch. Exhale, gently bring those ribs back down together in front. Allow your middle back to come into the mat. Feel length in low back. Turn over now onto your abdominals. Now, once you're onto your abdominals, we're going to do a little sphinx. I can't say it. I think of Egypt and the pyramids. Sphinx. Okay, sphinx. Now, careful. That's compressing your neck, your shoulders. So we have to drop shoulders out of ears. And then think of your breastbone pulling forward through the arms. And then just feel the stretch in your ribs. Your hip points are on the mat. And just breathe. So keep your neck long. You want to make some room in your spines. If you want to go a little deeper, go into seal by stretching your arms out straight. And you want to feel like you can keep space in your neck, space in your shoulders, and there's also space along your low back area. So we want to elongate. Pull your sternum through the arms slightly. And feel your abdominals sort of dome into the back of the pelvis a little bit. There's the stretch, but they're also getting forced to work a little bit in this position. Breathing in and breathing out. Those triceps are also working. Elbows point down towards the floor. Let's take one more deep inhale here. Softly come in. Rest your forehead on backs of hands and rock your hips side to side. Release your lower back. Now slowly we're going to rock our head side to side, releasing our neck. Ajna wisdom for third eye. Come back to the center. Take your hands. You're going to bring your hands directly under your shoulders. I want you to curl your toes under. Now from here, I'm going to have you go into like a low cobra, but we're actually going to come up through into our upward dog. So you want your shoulders away from the ears, pull those elbows in, curl the toes. As you rise up from your low cobra, you're going to go ahead and lift up your thighs. I'm curling my toes under. You can have the tops of your feet pushing down if that's comfortable for you. I'm going to curl my toes under for now. You're going to feel those hips lengthen. You're going to feel core lift into spine. Now from your upward facing dog, I want you to slowly bend both knees, come back and hover on all fours. Tighten your core to your back. You're just hanging out here for a moment, strengthening your core. Then slowly press out into your downward dog. Pull apart. Pull the breastbone through the two arms. Feel those arm bones twist outward. Two energy forces from your center. One going down the spine, up the spine. One going down the legs towards the floor. Circuit of energy traveling through our entire body. Come back onto your all fours. Hover those knees. Now we're going to bring our knees to the mat. And you're going to come all the way down into a push-up. Come to the ground. Low cobra. Curl the toes under, tailbone long. Rise up into your upward facing dog. Thighs come off the floor, open chest. So your core is tightening into your spine. Now from here, all fours, we're going to just hang out, hover, tighten your core to your back. Now you're going to slowly push up into your downward dog. Pull apart, feel those two lines of energy. Stretch those sits bones straight back behind you towards your mat. Feel those hamstrings lengthen. Feel the energy travel towards those heels. If the heels don't touch your mat, you're okay, no worries. Sternum pulls through the arms. Those arms twist outward from your shoulder sockets. Slowly hover. All fours, tighten your core to your back. Strengthen your shoulder girdle in your back. Strengthen your core. Gently bring your knees down. Now you're going to do a tricep push-up. You're going to just resist, 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 resist on the way down. Come all the way down to your mat. Your elbows hug back. Your shoulders are out of your ears. Maybe the tops of your feet are on the mat. Maybe you curl the toes under. You're going to come up into your upward facing dog. Your thighs float up. Those hips are open, chest to sky, shoulders out of ears. Breathing in and breathing out. Now you're going to come onto all fours. Hold here, stretch your spine long. Strengthen. Blades down back, head away from tailbone. Slowly go into your downward dog. Pull apart. That oppositional energy running up and down the spine, Ida and Pingala. Stretch those sits bones behind you to the floor. Pull your breastbone through. One more deep inhale. Gently come back onto all fours. Use your core, tailbone long. Strengthen your abdominal wall, lift into your spine. Gently, you're going to bring your knees to the mat. Get ready. You're going to resist into that tricep push-up. You're going to come down, resist, 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 all the way down. Come into that low cobra. Those elbows pull back, chest is open. You're going to lift up into your upward facing dog. Those thighs are strong. Chest is open. Last one. We're going to hover. Knees are bent. Spine is long. Use your core. Those quads are burning a bit. Now slowly press back. Pull your sternum through. Feel those arm bones rotating outward externally from your socket. Sits bones pulled down to the backs of those thighs. Energy going all the way down. Let those heels drop a little closer to the mat. And breathe in and breathe out. Slowly we're going to walk in place, walking the dog, one to each side, breathing in, breathing out. Let those heels drop a little deeper. Good. Gently, you're going to lift both heels up high. Gently bend those knees and come all the way down into your rest pose. You can either have your tops of your feet make contact, and again, if you're ever protecting your knees more, you have more surface area on the floor, on the mat, when your toes are like this. So if you want less pressure in the knees, curl those toes. If you want to go deeper into your hips, feet flat like that. You choose, and sit back, hips over heels. Relax into your Balasana rest pose. Breathe into the back of those ribs. Allow the sits bones to sink deeper towards the mat. Create space between the front of your rib cage and the two hip bones, creating some length there between the ribs and the hips, the soft tissue area. Dropping that tailbone down behind you. Take two more deep inhales here. And one more time. All right, slowly walk hands under shoulders, press all the way up, nice and easy. And we're gonna conclude our workout tonight. So I hope you feel stretched out. Hope you feel more released and open from the beginning. And hopefully you have a great rest of your day, your evening. And I'm grateful that you worked out with me today. Appreciate you. If you like my channel, please share, like, subscribe. It'll help me grow. Appreciate you so much. One more deep inhale here. Bringing in positivity. Release any negativity. Be positive. Be hopeful. Hands to heart. Thank you so much. You have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or day. Peace, everyone. Take care. Bye.